Hello and welcome to our Exec Behind the Scenes. Today we are meeting with André Willemse, Executive Director from Cape Town Regions. André, welcome and please tell us a bit more about yourself.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Joleen. So I'm from the Cape Town Regions. Been with BNI for about 14 years now. An Executive Director for about just short of 10 of those 14 years.
Interesting, 10 years is a long time. What initially attracted you to BNI and how has that helped you engage over the last 10 years?
So I think initially, I got introduced to BNI by a friend who had clients in BNI, and he suggested it as a space to grow a business. And initially when we joined, it was we joined to build the business from there. And I think in our early days, when we initially joined, I focused on the wedding photography side of the business, which was quite a challenging space, within at the time in the chapter, because it was a smaller chapter and the chapter was still building from there. But then when we started refocusing on the commercial side of our business, we started picking up in a nice way as well. And then after that, I think as I got more involved in BNI, light bulbs went off and I was like, hang on a minute, there's a great opportunity here to do something great, to help other businesses grow and to help other businesses be successful. And that's been the driving force to keep me engaged up until now. The impact we have on businesses, the way we help business owners grow and change their lives, that's become the motivator around staying within BNI for so long.
What advice would you give a member who wants to build a strong but scalable business?
I think the first thing you need to look at, obviously join BNI because it gives you this space and a platform to really change your business. But I think once you're in BNI, the first thing you really need to focus on is making sure that you're clear on who you like to do business with. So have your target market defined as good as possible. Know who your best clients are. Know who you want to collaborate with in order to take your business to another level. We often see people, they want to do business with everyone, everybody and anybody. And you're just wasting a lot of time. If you want to scale your business and do something great, get specific about your best clients. Who do you love doing business with? Because then it gives you an opportunity to really change how you do business as well.
What innovation did you implement in your region that you really think stuck and is working for you in your region? Because if you look at it, we've got so many different cultures, so many different avenues of businesses coming in. What innovation is working for you?
Innovation is always a tricky one. So, I'm a very big believer in, don't try and reinvent the wheel. I don't like being the first one on the block to try something if no one's ever done it. For me, it's always been about looking at what are other people doing and then picking pieces and going, okay, that's really amazing. That thing's really amazing. And then bringing it together to take things to another level. If I look at the last couple of years, we did a lot of stuff on lead generation, automations in how we handle our lead generation campaigns and stuff like that. But that's also picking up from different regions and different countries on stuff they did. I think on the ground, the one thing that really made the biggest difference is changing our approach to bringing new members on board. So we developed an onboarding program to make sure when we sit with a brand new member, before you even start your journey, we go, okay, let's talk about the chapter. Let's talk about what's important to know about the members in the group. Let's get you on all the apps and understanding the basic expectations before anything even happens. So before mentoring programs start and all that sort of stuff, let's just have that initial conversation of, okay, let me take you by the hand, make sure you set up on the key important things, and then we go from there.
You've been focused on launch for quite a bit, and we had a couple of discussions around it where you launch chapters, but in the process you fill other chapters as well. How has that changed your outlook on bringing in new groups in areas that's not developed yet?
So I think I had to experience a big mind shift change on launching chapters. Not many people know this, but when years ago, I didn't enjoy launching chapters. It was for the longest time that one thing in the BNI business that I was just like, man, if I can pay someone else to do it, I'd definitely hand it off to someone else. So I think firstly, I had to change my mindset on it. Trying to achieve the goal and the vision of where I want to be in the next 5 years, it does require me to launch new chapters and bring more new people into the BNI community. And that kind of fits into the why. So we want to make a bigger impact in the community. So we got to go into areas where we don't have BNI. We got to give access to people who don't know about BNI. And changing that mindset has made it easier to kind of start attracting new people. But it connects with the bigger vision. And that kind of makes it a lot easier to do as well.
Talking about launch, you launched the most chapters in the country last year. How do you identify your true drivers through this process? We all have the scripts, we all have the questions to ask, but there's always that something that you look out for. How did you identify that?
The right people is always a tricky one. I mean, we did Value of Life, Wall of Fame launched in 6 weeks. And we got lucky there, to be honest. Like we met 5 guys, well connected, they really wanted to do this, and we pulled it off really quickly. I think where we need to where I had to really relook at launch is looking at it in the sense of, look, it's going to take time. You're not going to find the perfect drivers on the first guy. Sometimes the driver is the 15th guy that joins the group. And getting rid of that obsession about I have to have 5 drivers before I do anything, that's changed how I launch chapters as well. The big thing for me is, I mean, BNI, I do BNI full time. So it's not, I don't have another business I have to focus on. The region is big enough to kind of sustain a lot of things. And as I've built my team, I've built a team that can support. I've really put a lot of effort in building a support team. So day-to-day support operations on chapters is not something I have to really worry about. So now I can spend the time on launch. I can take a bit longer to get the team together. I can spend more time getting the first 10 in the room, where previously it was like, okay, if I don't get 10 in this much time, I need to really look at where am I spending other time, like what's more important, where now I can really just focus on it. And that patience has really changed things, because you just kind of go, okay, let's go for it. Let's have a chat with the guy, and sometimes you let people go, sometimes someone else joins the group, and just being patient around it has changed or got us able to launch more chapters.
What legacy would you like to leave behind in your region?
So there's a bigger vision for where I'm working towards. I think for me, one of the biggest challenges in South Africa is that there are so many people who need to go into entrepreneurship. There's not enough jobs available out there, right? So entrepreneurship is playing a massive role in our economy. The challenge we have is that there's nowhere for people to go to learn about this, right? I mean, when we started our business, we were like, okay, let's just start a photography business. We've been in the industry for years. We know the industry, but we had so many mistakes in like starting the business up. You know, we went with the wrong business setup stuff. We went with the wrong accounting firm that didn't do their work. You know, so all these mistakes, and they're all costly mistakes. I mean, the wrong accountant cost us 60,000 Rand 3 years down the line to fix, because we had to pay someone else to do all the stuff again. So the longer term legacy I want to leave is to be at a space where we become a resource for young entrepreneurs, young business people, to learn how to do business, and to grow in that space as well. You know, I see a stage where, you know, in the Cape regions, we can help 2,000 businesses thrive in business and create a community where there's space for youngsters. You know, you thinking about getting involved in business, we're like, okay, here are people you can talk to in that industry. You want to be an electrician, here's 5 electricians that you can talk to and learn, you know, what's the pitfalls, what are some of the things I need to be conscious about.
Almost like a business
like a mentor,
kind of
like a mentor space. But then because we have access to so many business people, we can go, okay, you want to do an internship, go chat to Yanni, he will give you an internship on in the accounting world. Then you can figure out if it's something you want to do. Or you've got a business and you're struggling and you need a bit of help, like have the resources of people there to help. Because that way we can change the future. You know, if we get young people involved in the business world quicker and give them access to support and resources, it can change the whole game.
I think that's kind of a legacy we all want to go to. If you think about networking events in the past, it was over 60s, over 50s. You didn't see the young crowds in the chapters. You didn't see the young crowds going out to conferences. And that has changed, and with all the digital things coming out and AI and all these things, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
You've got a badge there, Mission 1000. Does that incorporate your legacy?
So Mission 1000 was the starting point. It's funny, I had a conversation with someone about this the other day, and it's like, they were like, so how did you get to 1,000? And it's like, well, it just sounds like a nice number, right? But there's something to it. So the idea is, if we can help 1,000 businesses thrive in my region, I believe that at that point we'll start hitting that tipping point on momentum as well. So phase 1 is to get to 1,000, because now we're starting to reach a tipping point. And then from there, we can then start leveraging the network to go, okay, how do we support the business community? How do we impact young people's journey in business as well? And that will then give us the momentum to really make a big impact in the community.
Now, it's also important to have the buy-in.
Yeah.
And not just go for it and you're running in this direction and everybody else is running in a different direction.
Yeah.
That's
and the idea around Mission 1000 is, so there's a couple of parts to it. So one is helping businesses thrive. So it's not just about paying bills. We want to have successful businesses. We want to be able to do things in life that we always want to do. You want to have money to send the kids to university, or you want to have money to go on those holidays that you've always wanted to go. That's part of the thriving mindset. The second part of it is the community. BNI is a community of business people, and yes, we join to build business relationships and to get more business, but the community changes everything, because you've got people you can support, you've got access to suppliers, you've got access to referral partners, you've got access to clients, and that changes the whole way we do business, because now all of a sudden it's like, hey, I need a lawyer. Okay, where do you need the lawyer? Which lawyer do you need? There's access to so many different connection points that can really change the business community as a whole. And there's a lot of cowboys out there. Like we went through that when we started a business. The amount of times you need a plumber. Okay, now go to Google, and then the plumber takes your money and disappears. Because there's a lot of people who do business in really weird, unethical ways. And if we build this strong community, it's a safety net for us as business people and as individuals as well.
Yeah, that's true. If you think about when we refer people, it's people we know.
Yeah.
It's people that's been vetted. It's people that are trusted. So that makes it a different kind of unique community.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are, you can still have that, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
My last question for you today. What is it that you enjoy most about being an ED?
I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that we change people's lives. I think the frustrating part is that I know we can change more lives, but sometimes it's the hard part is getting members fully engaged on that and kind of like the penny to drop, and I think as we're looking at the next few years ahead, the exciting part is, as we look at the next few years ahead, it's like, okay, how do we help members get to that point quicker? Because we want you to thrive in business. Like I want all my members to be super successful. So the fun part is like, okay, how do we help you? How do we get there? What tools can we make available to get there? But the best part is, when you chat to a member and they're like, Andre, we can afford to go overseas on holiday now, or hey, I was able to buy my new car that I've dreamed about having. Helping members achieve their dreams, that I think is the most rewarding part of what we do.
Thank you very much. And that was André Willemse from the Cape Town regions chatting to us about his why in BNI. Please remember to like, subscribe, and always follow our channels, because there's a lot of new information coming your way.